There's another game that's coming out. Anybody play Gothic, the Gothic series? Okay, cool. So we're going to do another one called Arcania, which is basically Gothic 4. And I played the lead in there, and I was like, what's his name? Doesn't have his name. We're just calling him Hero. I'm like, sweet! Like Clint Eastwood, the man with no name. Spaghetti Western reference. Thank you. There we go. Someone just screaming, yeah! Sergio Leone, woo! I don't know who that is. No, okay, we're there. The worst ADR ever. You look at that and it's like, come on, you're not even trying to match. It's so great. Spaghetti Western's world. Alright, you guys ask questions. I've been talking for like ad nauseum, 30 minutes. Elvis, go for it.
Okay. So, you played Snow in Final Fantasy 13.
Lie.
He was voiced by Ono Daisuke in the Japanese version, which was a great Japanese voice actor. Did you take any cues from him when you were...
Absolutely. Now, keep in mind that Square was doing something really revolutionary with this game. Obviously, you've got a long legacy with the Final Fantasy franchise, and I'm a huge fan. I mean, I go back to the original, dating myself, but I was embryo when I was playing it. I had one thumb. But then I remember when the Spirits Within came out, I thought that, even though it was a kind of departure from the Final Fantasy world, it was still brilliant. It was groundbreaking what they did. And Jack Fletcher, who directed that movie, also directed 7 and 12 and Animatrix. That's who directed 13. Brilliant, brilliant director. And Daisuke Ono, he and I, we've crossed paths several times because he was the original save for Yuri Lowell as well. So it's kind of cool. I'm like, hey, you're my Japanese counterpart. And I really, really, really want to meet him. I had a lot of enunciation on that for some reason. I want to meet him. Perhaps we can have coffee together. It's weird. So the Japanese were recording at the same time they were a little bit more ahead of us because they had a milestone to meet in November when we were going to release sometime in March. That's all we knew. So there would be times when they would have the Japanese recorded, they would have some of the cutscenes done to where they had full animation, almost fully rendered, or they would have like wireframe, or they would have nothing. So it was really kind of a balance, and especially Jack Fletcher and his position with Square was, you guys are making the game for the Japanese. We want to make the game for the Western audience. We want it to be palatable and relatable to a Western audience, which a lot of times with Japanese games, it doesn't translate. It doesn't happen that way. And Square was very much on board with that. They were very supportive of us doing that. So we had Jack Fletcher, who was the director, Joe Muller, who was the producer, and Phil Bright, who was this Australian guy that lives in Japan that was being like the expat relation liaison between Square and us. It was really, really an interesting motley group. So it would be like, for so long, you really get a sense of the character. I was like, I don't think that you would say this, or can we maybe do this? And in mass, both Jack and Joe would look at Phil and go, can we do it? Like, fine. And there's a couple times the Japanese came back and were like, no, we don't want to do that. And there's a lot of times I'm like, sure, have fun with it. But there was one line where we are up against this huge, just formidable foe, and the original Japanese was just like the typical, something like that, or something big that he did, and I just like, I would say, oh hell, just one of those moments, and they let us run with it and have a lot of fun. But I think Daisuke is brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and I certainly take a lot of cues off him, because I think he's a singer that's got a real dramatic sense ability to go, so I like it. Oh, yes ma'am, back there, Blondie. We're actually going to work it out because I think we got through a lot of the people yesterday, but I know there's still a lot of people that want to do more. I want to be respectful, and there's a lot of people that came through stuff wanting things to sign. They are flipping this room around for other people, so I wouldn't want someone to do that to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to them and see if we can't do one tomorrow, it's like an overflow thing. I just really want to make it for people who haven't got something signed yet, or if where to go.
European release? Do you know if it's coming out in the U.S.?
Somebody asked me about that. There's absolutely no. We didn't re-record everything. They literally took what we did and just dropped it in. There was a couple of levels that they added. So like there's the new character. What's her name? Daddy. That we mentioned in the Xbox version. They actually put her in the PS3 version. So we've got a European release, but I don't know why they haven't set a street date for the States. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I don't know. I'm ready for it to come out too because I've got a PS3 and I'm like, I don't want to finish playing the game because I got halfway through like on Christmas break. I had an Xbox where I was at, so I was like playing through like, I gotta beat it. And Zoggy just really held me up for a long time, which I was really frustrated about. And then I've also heard rumors of a movie. So, yeah, that's a Vesperia movie.
Yep.
So I would love for that to happen. But I know nothing about that. A lot of people ask me about that, and I don't know. Who's being rude right now? I'm trying to... Oh, hi. There's your dad. He says, come home. I pointed to Jesus for all those. Yes, sir.
The European version still has English in it, right? Because even if it never comes to the U.S., if the European version has English in it, I'd be willing to import it if I have.
If you can, but it may be a different format, because we're NTSC, they're PAL, so I don't know if it would work. I don't know, but I'm sure there's no reason why they wouldn't. If the game did so well over here, so I just say be patient.
I don't know, I can never
check the Namco boards.
I can never tell those profit mongers exactly the same.
Nah, those people are actually really, really good. What's up?
You sure?
Yes, say hi. That's a bad joke. I'm sorry.
I was just wondering, who's your favorite Batman?
Who's my favorite Batman?
Who's your favorite Batman?
Kevin Conroy. Is that okay?
Good choice.
Yeah. Because I grew up watching the animated series, and that's Mark Hamill is one of the reasons why I wanted to get into voice acting. And great story. We're working on the Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, new Marvel show.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
That's gonna be so freaking good, dude. My first session, I walk in and I'm just like milk bucket under a bowl. I'm like, oh my god, the people that are in this room. I sit down next to this guy. We're sitting there talking. He's just like, he's going off telling stories about different things and everything. I look at him like, there's no freaking way, man. There's no way that's who that is. Hey, I'm Troy Baker. He goes, Mark Hamill, nice to meet you. And I was like, so I fanboy out too. It was really, really cool because, and he and I have worked on stuff together since then. We worked on Darksiders together.
Oh.
And, which was awesome. They brought him in basically to do the Joker.
Great job, man.
Oh man, he did an amazing job with Darksiders. Liam O'Brien just knocked it out of the park with War. It's great. But we're walking out of the session. I'm doing my typical thing. I'm like, hi, Mark. It's really, really great working with you. Thanks so much. And he was saying, stuff with people. Well, thank you. And I walk in. He goes, hey, kid. I turn and he goes, you got a hell of a set of pipes on you. And I can buy it right now. Thank you for justifying me, Your Majesty. Because to me, Luke Skywalker, but at the same time, he's the Joker. So Kevin Conroy, man, is kind of a favorite. I like where Christopher Nolan they took it back to like Batman Year One. They took it back to the graphic novels, and I think the original intention. I've had debates about this with a friend of mine who knew Bob Kane, and he was like, Bob Kane would just be rolling in his grave if we saw what they had done to Batman. It's like, I think it's more in line with what he originally envisioned for Batman than they ever have before. Worst Batman ever, probably George Clooney, and he will admit that. So, yes.
I've noticed
Yes.
I've noticed you do a lot of voices, and
That's true. Kind of why we're here. No.
you always did, or is that something that you learned through voice acting?
I joke and I say that the stuff that got me in trouble as a kid is paying me as an adult.